Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a f if I cut my arm bleeding. This is my last resort.
So I'm going to make a little rant here that from a frustration that I have from today on this load that I delivered. Delivered into a customer 2:30 in the morning. Fine, whatever. Everything I thought was going smoothly until there at the end, where I realized that the lumper fee they charged me to put pallets back on, and I was like, oh great, okay, so they are rejecting some product. Go grab the paperwork. They tell me that the product is damaged and it is 2 pallets worth. Technically should be 4, but they have it as 2 pallets worth. 4 big boxes, each pallet, so 8 cartons total that they refused because they were damaged. Okay, pull out the door, go to look, and nothing is wrong with the product at all, that I can see at least. Nothing at all. Unless they have loaded it to where the damaged part is up at the nose of the trailer, that I can see. Nothing at all. Either way, I take a picture of it. I remove the product stickers, put it on the front, take a picture of those, take a picture of the bill of lading, and when I eventually find out who I needed to call to report this, report it over to send them the pictures and everything else. And then I called the number that was on the bill of lading for this customer, saying, for the shipper who shipped this product, saying, if there's any damage, shortage, or overage, please call this number. So I call it. They tell me, okay, well, we need bill of lading number, we need pictures and proof of everything, and these are all things that I already sent over to my company. And they're like, well, who are you? Are you the driver? Are you a representative of the company? And I said, I'm the driver. And they're like, okay, well, we can't speak with you about it. You got to have your company reach out to us and talk to us about it. All right. Well, this was all right around just a little after 6 o'clock this morning. We are going on a little after 11 o'clock. My clock is quickly deteriorating away. And nothing has happened. And for a product that has nothing wrong with it. So I don't know if it's clear laziness from the customer refusing to accept the product, just because either one, they have too much of the product, because I've had that happen before, where I've had a whole trailer rejected because a customer over ordered a product. So either they have too much of the product, or the person who was unloading me was just lazy and didn't want to have to open up the boxes and go through everything. So, needless to say, I'm not very happy. Neither is my dispatch, after I sent him the pictures as well, and his immediate response was, where's the damage? I have no clue, dude. Like, maybe you can help and tell me where this damage is. I'll put the picture of the pallets right after this video, right here, and maybe you can tell me where the damage is. Gotta love trucking. If it's not one thing, then it's another.
I only see my goals, I don't believe in failure, cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major.
Alright, y'all, so here we are, week number 4 down on my journey here at RTI. making this video a day early because I got my settlement for week 4. So got a couple things I wanted to go over with on week 4 that I thought was a little, I don't know. Everything's going good still so far. Can't really complain. I know last week I was a little down because I didn't make a lot of money. This week I made a little bit more, but I also had a lot more expenses. And that's on me. I also had an issue with one of my loads and whatnot, and get that covered. We'll talk about that and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, RTI is still treating me really well. So, technically, I guess I can say that they're giving me some pretty good miles too, even though they're split in the 2 different paychecks. Because RTI, they do their pay periods from Tuesday at midnight, 23:59, starting Wednesday morning up to Tuesday at 23:59. So they have it split weird, but it helps me out for my home time, because where I live, a customer that we have, I can only choose to go home either on Tuesdays or Thursdays, because that's the only time that they can get me out to where I live, there on the West Coast. So RTI is very much a middle of the country. They do go out west a little bit, but they don't go very far. They do not cover California, Oregon, Washington, and a little bit of Nevada. I know they don't cover New Mexico. I don't know. Don't hold me to the Nevada or New Mexico one. So yeah. Technically, if you really want to look at it, since I've come out on home time, I've done over in a 7-day period, not including to leading up to today of making this video. In a 7-day period, RTI got me over 3,500 miles, which is not bad. Again, though, those miles were split between 2 different pay periods, week 3 and week 4. Week 4 is the one that we will be covering. So, yeah. I did have an incident, not an incident like I didn't get in a wreck or anything else, but I had a hiccup here in week 4. Delivered to a customer. The customer has lumpers. They decided they were going to decline 2 pallets worth of product because the box had a little bit of damage on the bottom half. When they put them in, though, you could not see, when they put them back in the trailer, you could not see anything wrong with these and whatnot. I didn't know who to call to make a claim, to go, hey, I have an issue. They put this product back on me. You have me on another load that I need to go grab, but before I can grab that, I have to get rid of this stuff. Tried reaching out to my driver manager. He didn't pick up the phone. So I then went through the call list of things that they gave me, and I decided, okay, well, they have an accident/claims line. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll try them out and see if I'm doing it right. If not, maybe they'll put me in the direction of who I need to call. Thankfully, they were the people who I needed to call. The accident/claims hotline. So if you do come over here at RTI, just so you are aware, if you have any OS&D, that is who you have to call. I don't I don't remember being told in orientation that we had to call the claims line, accident/claims line for OS&D. During orientation for for the phone lines, we weren't really, at least in my experience, wasn't really told what to call besides the shop. We were told on that one because they had a whole segment dealing with the shop, and then they made damn sure that we knew how to get a hold of our driver manager. So thankfully though, my driver manager came through with me on this and helped me out on this OS&D. Was a little bit hard to get a hold of him at first, but it was super early in the morning, so I can't really complain too much. Put it in with claims. Claims let customer service know. Customer service for RTI reached out to the shipper, and they basically took forever all bleeping day to figure out what the hell they were going to do with this product. I ended up running out of hours, and by the end of business day, when my driver manager was leaving, he still had no clue on what we were doing with this product, which unfortunately for me meant I had a whole day wasted just sitting, which is not very profitable as a lease operator or an owner operator. Sitting doesn't make you any money. So a little irritated at that. Went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, waited a few hours because I like to get up early in the morning. I like the early mornings. I don't like the late night deliveries. Called in, go, hey, did we ever figure what we're doing? I would really like to get moving so I can make money. My driver manager goes, yes, I was all over customer service. They told us that the shipper said that we could donate the product. Now we're just trying to find somebody to take this product to donate to. Give me a couple hours and we'll get back to you. I didn't really want to sit around for another couple hours. And where I was at, I got proactive and I started looking up places on my own. Most of the food banks in my area that I could see had no way that I could deliver this to, and no way to get this product off my trailer. So I decided to take a wild chance, and I walked into the Love's shop because I was sitting at a Love's truck stop. Asked the guy if he knew any food banks or anywhere that could that would accept this product, and he goes, oh yeah, so what do you have? Told him what I had, and he goes, oh yeah, the sheriff's office down the street, the county jail will take it. They'll even come out and they'll take it from you. They'll unload it off your trailer for you. I was like, all right, so called the company. Driver manager goes, oh heck yes, let's get this done, get you moving. About an hour and a half, 2 hours later, sheriff came out with a couple inmates, and they got up in the trailer and they took the pallets off, and voila, I was nice and done. I didn't know if I needed to take a donation receipt. I'm assuming not, but that might be my bad. My company never complained to me about not getting a donation receipt, so yeah, the county prison there got a lot of Rotel. I'll just say the product, so don't have it anymore. A lot of Rotel. So that was pretty cool. Got moving and whatnot. So week 4 has had its ups and downs. Been driving quite a bit and been right here in currently right here in this whole tornado mega alley area, so that was fun. Last night I guess I missed the tornado that hit there in Arkansas. So pretty thankful for that one. That the storm that created the tornado was only rain and hail for me, and went up farther north, and it was a tornado up there. Now, don't get me wrong, my heart and my prayers and everything are out towards those families and the people who lost everything because of this tornado. But for me personally, I was very grateful that I did not have to deal with it. My entire career, I have literally driven out on the West Coast. I've come out to the Mid and the East Coast. Not so much in tornado season, but I have come out. So I can deal with a blizzard, I can deal with snow, I can deal with all that crap that the West Coast throws at you for a storm. But here in the middle of the country, tornadoes, whole new thing for me. So should be fun trying to figure this out on how to be safe around it and around them and whatnot. So all right, well, I guess we'll just get right into it, and we'll go over what my my profit and loss was and what I earned for week 4. Give you guys a little view down of it. Alrighty, so here we go. I did 5 trips this week, not including the trip number 6 that got me out of home from Idaho to Nebraska. That one was put on week 3, but technically, since I've come out of home time, that would have been here on week 4, but it was put on week 3 because that's the way they roll their home time. So we had trip 1 to Waverly, Nebraska to Woodland Park. I had 544 miles. I got paid for every load this week at $1.63 a mile. Now I do want to talk about this a little bit. The cents per mile will change from week to week. It depends on where the fuel prices are. This is how RTI runs it. This is how, from when I was a lease operator with Night Transportation, this is how Night Transportation runs it. And now that Night owns Swift and so on and so forth, their lease programs are going to be the same way. The majority of all lease programs that I'm aware of, besides the ones that are percentage based, are the cents per mile will fluctuate depending on the average fuel price for the nation is that week. These last couple weeks, fuel prices have been kind of staying even, right around $3.50, $3.80 a gallon. So I'm getting paid $1.63 a mile. All right, so trip 1, I got paid $886.72. Trip number 2, I went from Woodland Park to Aurora, and then Aurora to Emporia, Kansas. I got paid $1,295 for that week. That trip. Trip number 3, I went from Emporia, Kansas to Maumelle. And I may be butchering saying that city, but I'm calling it Maumelle, Arkansas. I got paid $707.42 for that. Trip number 4, I got, again, I may be butchering this, so I apologize. Maumelle, Arkansas, the Columbia, Missouri. I got paid $583.54. And then trip number 5, this is the one that I ended up having the OS&D on it, which was a pain in the ass. But it went from Columbia, Missouri to St. Elmo, Illinois. That was empty miles. And then St. Elmo, Illinois to Indianola, Mississippi. And that one I got paid $1,054.61 for a total profit to the truck. This is not me, this is to the truck. $4,527.29. And then we had my fuel deductions. I paid a little bit more on fuel this week. I got basically fuel in every trip. Now trip number 3, the reason why it's so low is because the only thing that I got was DEF. And trip number 2 is so high because I decided I was getting a pretty good price at $3.29 a gallon. I decided to just top off my fuel tanks and make it to where I could hopefully go a whole trip without having to get fuel. I unfortunately in trip 2 forgot to put DEF in because I figured a half of a tank of DEF would work out perfect for me for this for the next trip. Well, it did not. My truck decided to guzzle down my DEF and whatnot. So here's my fuel expenses for each trip. I don't know, I think I did pretty well on my fuel. So now we're gonna go over the fixed expenses. Again, these are the fixed expenses for a 2023 International. For the miles I made, I did a total of week 4, I did a total of 2,583 miles. So again, as I have said, RTI, if you have an APU on your truck, I have the Thermo King Tri-Pack. They will charge you for that said APU. So they charged me this week $64.58 for the APU. The base plate's $37.40. Escrow fund, which once it reaches to a certain point, if I remember correctly, $750, they will no longer charge me that escrow fund, and that will get back into my pocket. My truck payment of $746 for a 2023 International. The physical damage insurance at $145, the bobtail insurance at $680, the occupational and accident insurance at $35. My highway use tax $11. My fuel tax expenses, they charged me $33.58. Now this reserve I thought was last week, like I said in my video there, I thought it was only a one-time fee, which I was completely wrong. This is basically a reserve that you don't get really told about while you're in orientation. You have to kind of read your lease and you will see this. It kind of threw me by surprise because the reserves and the escrows I kind of skipped because their sign-on bonus that they gave me was pretty much paying all my escrows and reserves for me. So I figured, okay, well, there's no point. Well, I should have probably read that part. They charged me a $250 fee for this reserve, and they will charge you this $250 fee for 12 weeks to a grand total of $3,000. Once you reach that $3,000, they will then remove that $250 charge, and you get that $250 back in your pocket, which is not a bad thing. But at the same time, like I said, I made the mistake for not reading that part of my lease where I should have, and so it kind of irritated me when I saw it last week, and then again when I got my settlement this week, it irritated the hell out of me to the point where I called payroll. Unfortunately, I didn't get anybody from the payroll department because they were super busy. So then I went on to my lease and I actually read through the portion of the lease for the escrows and the reserve funds, and found out that this $250 charge is going to stick with me until I get that $3,000 limit of, so that's 12 weeks of $250. So not really what I was expecting, but it's a curveball thrown at me, and I will deal with it. Figured you guys would want to know this, though, just in case you come on. Make sure you read that lease, and make sure you read the escrow and everything else. No matter if they tell you that sign-on bonus that they're giving you is going to cover all of your escrow payments and whatnot. So make sure you actually read that part. I just skipped over it and signed it, and now I'm dealing with it. So and this is in general. Make sure you read over your lease contract. A lot of companies, they like to hide crap. I'm not saying RTI does, but a lot of companies like to hide crap, and then you have to deal with it and find out about it later. RTI's lease is not actually with RTI, it's with a actual, I'm assuming an actual bank, because they are called Mo Capital. So I'm assuming that it's an actual bank that this lease is going through, which for me, I kind of think, and I'm looking at it going, okay, well then does RTI own this truck, or does Mo Capital own this truck? If RTI owns this truck, then they own this truck. If they don't, and I'm buying this truck from Mo Capital, does that mean that I'm paying for it through a bank then, like traditional, or am I actually doing an actual lease kind of thing? But then again, I signed a lease, so I'm doing a lease. It would be my assumption. So as we go on here now, we are on the pre-pass. This is pretty normal. They're going to charge you $3.94 for the pre-pass. The ELD is a guarantee at $15 a week. This variable mileage charge is for the maintenance fund. They are charging you 12 cents a mile. I got charged this week $309.96 for going to my maintenance fund. And then I had a lumper fee for that freaking last load that had the OS&D on it for $107.40. So that came up to a total of $3,367.79, which then makes it to where we come down to the reimbursements. Now this is really cool. They will reimburse you for your scales and of course lumper fees, no matter what, as long as you save that receipt. That's pretty normal, I think, also because that's how night transportation when I was doing their lease was. Now RTI does do it differently. RTI also charges the company drivers the scale tickets. So as a company driver, you have to pay for your own scale ticket, and if you don't send in that scale ticket receipt, you don't get reimbursed for that. So they treat the scale tickets just like they do with a lease operator for a company driver. So it doesn't matter if you're company or lease, you are paying for your own scales. I got 3 scales this week at $14 a piece, so they reimbursed me for that. And then I had the lumper fee of $107.40. They reimbursed me for that. So the total paid for me with all deductions from the profit, the total for me before taxes is $1,308.90. Now that is much better than it was last week. Last week again though, I was on home time. So it kind of, and I was learning the difference with home time. I chose to go home on a Thursday, and was hoping to come out on a Sunday where I live, which is very much impossible because where I live, refrigerated is king. Refrigerated freight is king where I am, and dry freight is not. And RTI does a lot of dry freight. They're saying that they're going to get into refrigerated. We'll see if that actually happens. I personally, if they do, would be pretty ecstatic, excited, because where I live there in Idaho, there is a lot of reefer loads. So I got $101,308.90 for this week. That's before taxes. Again, as a lease operator, you have to pay for your own taxes. They don't take it out for you. So if you come on as a lease operator and you don't pay anything, take anything out for taxes, at the end of the year, the IRS is going to get you. and they're going to get you good. So make sure that if you're coming on as a lease operator, you are taking out taxes. There are a couple of really cool tax calculator people. Keepers is one of them. They have the free tax calculator. They will ask you what you project your annual income would be, and then they tell you exactly how much projectively you would need to put aside to save for taxes. So yeah, there's the federal income tax, there's the state income tax if your state gives you a state income tax, and then there's the as Keeper showed me, there is the self-employment tax. The majority of your taxes will be going to that self-employment tax to the IRS. So, yeah, that's fun. So, overall, week 4, pretty good. RTI is still a good company, I think. Now, if you do come on as a driver, they will get you to Kansas. I'm going to assume to Kansas. I don't know. We have another sister company, TLI, but they're completely different from RTI. So if you come on as RTI, you're going to go into Kansas for orientation. Those ladies are amazing. Those ladies and the gentlemen that run orientation are amazing. And hopefully you get a good driver manager and you'll get some miles going and whatnot. I know there's a lot of negative reviews out there on RTI for not having miles. I was very skeptical. I've come on since. Yeah, they're not the greatest of miles, but I'm getting some miles. I'm still making more than I would have as a company driver, at least this month, these last 4 weeks, because I did a projection of what I would have made as a company driver. And I made about a little over $400 more. Yes, $400 is not a lot, but money's money, and it all counts. So, yeah, and then if you come on and you like it, they have a huge referral bonus. They are even more big. Their payout for referrals are even bigger than most of the companies I know of. Currently, they're doing $4,500 for a referral. So, they definitely try to get drivers on, and they try to keep you here. There's a lot of guys that have been here very long, and there's guys like me who are just starting out and whatnot. So, at this company, like I said though, after a month of being here, 4 weeks, month, still pretty good so far. They have their issues, but all companies do. All right, guys, till next time.